Hello everyone and welcome to another Modswell video. I'm your host Maxwell. I'm using a new mic and setup today, so let me know if it all sounds okay, and if I need to change any settings for more clarity, just let me know. This week I'm going back to my roots and I'll be showcasing one single mod. Kind of. This week I'll be taking a look at Not Your Fathers Skyrim. The latest iteration of this has just dropped for us on console thanks to Snipeys 360. But don't worry PC players, whilst this isn't available for you as a bundle like it is on Xbox, you'll still have access to all of the individual mods, and I will leave a link to each of those in the description below. Not Your Fathers Skyrim is a bundle designed to make Skyrim more difficult. It does this in a variety of ways as well, meaning just when you think you've gotten the hang of things, a different enemy will show up and prove you wrong. This mod is not for the faint of heart. If you struggle with certain gameplay mods and get frustrated dying a lot, then this is likely not the mod for you. I mean, keep watching because it helps me out, but seriously, you have been warned. This bundle does include a ton, so I'll break it down and talk about how each of these features perform. Most of the airtime is going to the mods making the largest changes, so the pacing of this video might feel a little bit strange, but just roll with it. And if you have any further questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments. I try my best to reply to each and every one of them. First up is Enhanced Skyrim SE. This mod is a handmade overhaul of the NPCs in Skyrim. It includes humanoids, animals, creatures and monsters. The edits here are designed to make the game more difficult from the offset, with changes like NPCs using potions from their inventory. This also means potions are more readily available, but trust me, they're gonna be needed. NPCs will also have perks similar to those from your perk tree, making them have better stats and abilities. The way they operate is completely changed because of this. Archers will have better range because of perks and be able to take advantage of things like piercing damage. Perks depend on the style of character and are relevant to them and their levels. NPCs will also have enhanced racial powers, which they will use against you, making each race different to battle against. This is most notable against factions without strict race reliance. Bandits get the largest benefit from this, and the disparity between races becomes something that you need to be mindful of. In a similar vein, they also have access to standing stone abilities, which does make a lot of sense. They're literally unguarded stones ripe for the picking. Mages will have vanilla and Odin spells, which coupled with their new abilities make them more deadly in combat. And yes, that does mean Odin is a requirement for this mod to work. Loot has also been rebalanced to make the characters more useful. Beyond this, they will also loot the dead for more powerful gear, which means they evolve throughout combat. Taking down the leader with his superior gear will lead to someone else taking that up and using it against you. Finally, they also use more enchanted gear. Again, this leads to fights being different constantly. Mindfulness is the aim of the game here. When it comes to combat, more edits have been made here too. There is enhanced NPC AI, making them fight more strategically. They will use a wider array of moves like bashing, parrying and well-timed power attacks. I have already briefly talked about the mages, but their AI has also had specific tweaks to force them to utilise their new perks better. Things like dual wielding spells is more common. When it comes to animals, their edits on AI can depend on size. A wolf will use its speed and circle. A mammoth will charge at you and use its weight to trample and stomp. But it isn't all about difficulty just for you. The NPCs and enemies are affected by things that hamper the progression of the playable character as well. Auto aim has been disabled, full damage has been increased, and enemies will now suffer more for it. But so will you. There are some other neat things worth checking out, so I do advise that you check out the Nexus page on this mod to see some spell augments that really change how mages can combat you. The bundle also includes Enhanced Dragons SE. This part of the bundle overhauls the dragons to be far more difficult. Obviously. They are the endgame enemy and designed to be difficult to combat, which simply isn't the case in the base game. With this mod, dragons gain new resistances dependent on their species. Their breath and physical attacks will now do a lot more damage, effectively making movement and cover pivotal to survival. And don't think going behind them will help, their tail will throw you to the ground with a single swipe, leaving you an easy immobile target. Beyond this, their health now regens during combat similar to a troll, their AI has been improved for more brutality, and they gain new shouts dependent on what dragon they are, making each fight a little different. There are also some nice quality of life edits here. Dragons will have unique names based on the Draugr language, NPCs under level 10 will flee from a dragon on sight, and finally the loot will be far more rewarding. Trust me, at that point you will have earned it. There are a bunch of new specific dragons included in this mod, so again I will leave a link to the Nexus so you can check them all out. Dragon Priests have also been included in the bundle, using their enhanced Reborn Hell Edition mod. This has some cool features, such as unique abilities and skills for each of the Dragon Priests, custom spells to fight you with as well as their staffs, brand new unique textures for more variance between the Dragon Priests. Well, that part's actually only for PC users. On Xbox, the textures have been left out to help with the compatibility of the mod, and to save on size. Their stats have also been massively increased, making them more tanky and able to sustain magic for longer. The Dragon Priests will have the ability to penetrate nearly all of your defences, meaning a clear and correct strategy will be needed for every single engagement. Magic can be utilised here to attempt to resist as much damage as possible. There aren't many Dragon Priests to fight, but this edition will make each of them far more memorable. I highly recommend going in with a squad to tackle this challenge. One of the follower frameworks is going to be pivotal for basically every single engagement with this mod. When it comes to the Draugr, we have two overhauls, Brirakas and Cannibal Draugr. Brirakas is a simple overhaul that changes loot, adds new Draugr types, and creates unique feeling bosses. This adds so much depth to the enemy class, changing how you have to approach them all. Mages with different ranks, different appearances to signify strength, and new styles of weapons with increasing power. Basically everything required to make them feel more epic. Coupling this with Cannibal Draugr is fantastic too. The idea behind this is to make the Draugr and Souls theme feel different from those in Skyrim. A new design for a more menacing beast. Red glowing eyes, blood soaked and generally more evil looking. The Cannibal Draugr have a lot going for them. It won't make your game hard up, but it does look cool and make the Draugr feel deeper once more. And if you're a total sadist, you could add Resident Evil Undead to the lineup and basically cry every time you enter a crypt. Open world loot is also included in this mod, but seeing as how I've covered it a few times, I will be brief here. OWL changes the loot for each spawn, but it also changes how each character levels and what their maximum can be. Their level is relative to yours and depends somewhat on the encounter zone. Easier zones will have them at around your level, and the more difficult areas will see enemies leveling to beyond you, no matter how high you are. These will synergize with the other mods in this bundle to make a mountain out of a molehill. Basically, the bundle is stacking difficulty at this point, in a meticulous and almost cruel way. It is ridiculously fun trying to get through each battle. I'm now going to switch up a bit and use really brief descriptions about the final mods in this bundle. They are worth noting and extremely fun, but the changes are far smaller. Okay, there have been edits using Vigour for no health regen and a necessity to use potions and bandages to heal. A new utility in poisons which will devastate enemies because of tonics and toxins, which is going to make certain fights really hard for you too. There have been fixes to vanilla stupidities, such as enemies having minor stats before combat using remove NPC negative offsets, as well as a mod raising the AI limit from 20 NPCs to unlimited. Essentially in vanilla, only a set number of NPCs in a cell could have AI attached to them at once. Artificial intelligence limit increaser has seen to this, which is handy because spawn counts have also been increased with this bundle. Edits like custom class creation overhaul are included, which will have you build your character a little bit more specifically. Most people I know use mods like this already, so it will save a slot for you. It will really suit people who utilize specific character styles. We also get undiscovered means unknown, which will make it so finding new places is that little bit harder, and enchantments Stalharim, which will simply distribute different ranks of Stalharim gear to the Draugr. I'm going to just directly read Snipeys Notes now, like a very lazy man. Custom character creation overhaul is activated by a one-time power. Carry weight has been reduced to 150 pounds on all races. No health regen in or out of combat. Persistent injuries that need to be bandaged to heal. NPCs with no combat borders. Followers no longer flagged as protected or essential. Potions no longer stack, you can only use one at a time. No enemies or location markers on compass, and no undiscovered locations on the map. So you may as well turn that compass off. So I've realised I'm going on far too long here, aren't I? I seriously mean it though, this mod has so much going for it. Everything synergizes perfectly to create a hellscape of a game with incremental difficulty jumps, meaning playing on a low difficulty setting is still hard. Every stage of power you hit, they've hit it too. Everything you're affected by, well, so is the enemy. Before I finish, I'll go over the final useful points. This mod is going to set you back a supremely reasonable 22.4 megabytes. Due to some differences between PC and Xbox, the combined total on PC is going to cost more, but that doesn't really phase you over there like it does us. When it comes to placement, I highly advise having this low down. I have it in my combat mods section in my template, and that's worked really well so far. You can use your own combat mods alongside this as well, just be sure to place them below to get the desired effect. Also be aware, this is going to require a few mods. Currently there is only a USEP version of the mod. Snipey plans on releasing the non-USEP version at some point, but for now it is a requirement. You will also need faction warfare, Odin and scales like broadswords. I am going to end here though, before I take up your entire day. For more conversation on the mod, come and join us over on the Discord server or the subreddit. I have left links to both in the description. I've also left links to my load orders so you can pick and choose how you want to play, and my Buy Me a Coffee page for anyone who'd like to make a donation to the channel. If this has been helpful, I'd really appreciate those likes, comments, and of course subscriptions. They really help me with YouTube's algorithm. But either way, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.